Imagine this for a second. You're out on the water. Maybe it's just a routine day fishing. And then something enormous, shimmering, almost alien, something usually miles down in the deep ocean, is suddenly right there, thrashing in your nets.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe flopping on the deck. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. And right away, you get this chill, maybe ancient stories start kind of whispering in your mind.
And that incredible scene, it actually happened in early June 2025, around June 3rd, maybe the 4th, off the coast of Tamil Nadu. Fishermen there, they really did haul in a very rare oarfish,
Or fish.
Regalicus glesne. It's known as one of the longest fish out there, sort of ribbon-like, lives way down deep. And this one, the reports say it was pretty impressive, about 15 feet long. So what's that, 4.5 meters?
15 feet. And look, this wasn't just any big fish, right? This is the one sometimes called the doomsday fish. You can totally understand the shock, maybe the awe, and definitely some real fear it must have sparked in the local community. So our mission today is to really take a deep dive into what this super unusual sighting actually means. We want to explore all the layers, the old folklore, how the community reacted, and then the cool scientific explanations for why it surfaced.
Right. Try and make sense of it all.
Exactly. We want to give you a shortcut to being really well informed on where nature, culture, and science kind of collide here.
Okay.
So let's kick off with just how rare this is. I mean, how often do we actually get to see these incredible creatures? Because like you said, for most of us, an oarfish is something you maybe see in a documentary, right? Not tangled in a fishing net.
Exactly. That rarity is key to the whole mystery, the wonder when they do show up.
Yeah.
They are, like you said, usually documentary fodder. They live really deep, typically between 200 meters and maybe down to 200 meters.
That's incredibly deep.
It is. So seeing them on the surface, especially getting caught, it's incredibly uncommon.
And that name, doomsday fish. I mean, that immediately paints a picture, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's not a casual nickname. It speaks directly to that apprehension it stirred up among the locals down in Tamil Nadu.
It certainly does. And that name, the doomsday fish, it comes from some really rich coastal folklore. It's particularly strong in places like Japan, other parts of Asia too. Traditionally, seeing an oarfish surface is believed to be a sign, an omen of imminent natural disasters, earthquakes, tsunamis.
Oh, okay.
In Japan, they even have a specific name for it, Ryugu no Tsukai, which basically translates to messenger from the sea god's palace.
Wow. Messenger from the sea god's palace. So when we talk about this folklore, are there specific times in the past, like historical events, where this belief got really strong, maybe amplified because something did happen? How does that history shape how people react now?
Yeah, that's a really important part of it. There are examples, like before the huge 2011 Tushoku earthquake and tsunami in Japan,
Hmm.
there were reports of multiple oarfish washing up.
Really? Beforehand?
Yes, beforehand. And another one, a sighting in the Philippines before an earthquake there in 2017.
Yeah.
Now, scientists look at these and generally say coincidence, correlation, not causation.
Right. The standard scientific approach?
Exactly. But for communities where this folklore is really embedded, these kinds of events, they absolutely cement that belief. It makes it feel very real.
And you can see why. So it's against that backdrop, all those historical beliefs, that this recent catch in Tamil Nadu becomes so significant today. It's not just, oh, a weird fish. It's like a living echo of these old warnings, isn't it?
Mhm.
You mentioned seeing videos of the fishermen hauling it in, and you could almost feel that local anxiety rising. It just shows how deep those cultural connections run.
Definitely.
So given these really powerful cultural reactions, these historical links, the big question for a lot of people must be, is this actually a warning? Or does science offer a different explanation, maybe a more grounded one for why these things happen? It feels like a real clash of perspectives.
It absolutely is a clash. You've got, on one hand, the local fishermen. Their shock, their alarm it's palpable. They're asking, does this mean something bad is coming? And that view is rooted in, generations of living by the sea, observing, and their cultural wisdom.
It makes sense from their perspective.
It's a classic human thing, isn't it? How do you balance those deeply held beliefs with scientific data?
Yeah.
Then you have the environmental scientists. They offer a very different take. Their caution comes from understanding that, well, oarfish might surface for other reasons. Maybe they're sick or injured, or maybe deep sea currents got disturbed somehow.
Okay, so physical reasons.
Right. And what's really crucial here, from the scientific view, is that while the folklore links them to disasters, There's just no empirical, solid scientific evidence proving a cause and effect relationship between oarfish showing up and earthquakes or tsunamis happening.
No proven connection.
None that science accepts. And then if you bring in, say, historians or cultural experts, they absolutely acknowledge how strong this folklore is. I mean, the Tamil Nadu catch clearly brought it all bubbling back up.
You couldn't ignore it.
You couldn't. But even these experts, they generally advise against taking it as a literal prediction. They sort of urge a balanced view, understand the cultural meaning, but don't assume it's forecasting disaster.
Oh, wait. So if we put the folklore aside for just a moment,
Yeah.
what kind of, ecological puzzle does an oarfish showing up present? When marine biologists hear about this, what do they think? It's a creature from a world we know so little about, right? There must be some significance to it appearing so far from home.
That's where it gets really fascinating from another angle. While the folklore looks for omens, the real message might be more subtle, maybe a quiet signal about our planet's deep ecosystems, the ones we hardly ever see. Because they live so incredibly deep, seeing one at the surface does suggest something might be disrupted down there. Maybe changes in ocean currents, like a deep-sea storm we wouldn't even know about. Maybe pollution reaching those depths. Or maybe, the fish itself was just injured or sick and couldn't maintain its depth.
So it's a potential indicator of something changing down deep.
Exactly. Its appearance isn't just about one fish. It's kind of a rare, very vivid reminder of how interconnected the whole ocean is, and frankly, how little we still understand about the pressures on those deep-sea environments. Maybe the doomsday fish doesn't predict an earthquake, but it certainly highlights our own scientific blind spots about, 70% of our planet?
That's a great point. It shines a light on the unknown.
It really does. And this event, it also really underscores that strong connection local communities have with marine life. For them, the ocean isn't just scenery, it's their livelihood, their home, their identity is tied up in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And interestingly, in response to this, authorities are actually stepping in with scientific outreach, trying to calm fears, educate the fishermen, promote a more responsible, informed way to react to these rare things when they happen.
That sounds like a positive step, trying to bridge that gap.
It is. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, scientifically speaking, these surface sightings of deep-sea species, like the oarfish, they could potentially act as early indicators, maybe flags that something is shifting in the ocean environment way down deep.
So less doomsday, more data point.
Kind of. They could maybe trigger us to deploy more marine sensors or launch specific research efforts to get a better handle on deep ocean health. It encourages us to look closer at what's happening far beneath the waves.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this deep dive for you, the listener. This oarfish catch in Tamil Nadu, early June 2025. It really is this captivating moment where culture and biology meet, isn't it?
It truly is. It's a cultural flashpoint, definitely, and also just a fascinating biological mystery.
And while that coastal folklore, dramatically calls it the doomsday fish and links it to disaster,
Science, for its part, says, look, we don't see any actual empirical proof of a causal link. No evidence that predicts anything like that.
right.
No evidence. But still, these rare events, they definitely make us think. And maybe this raises an important question for you to mull over.
Yeah.
How can we sort of responsibly combine that traditional knowledge, those centuries of coastal observation, with our modern scientific tools and monitoring? How do we use both to truly understand our planet's hidden depths and maybe help coastal communities build resilience without just giving in to fear?
That's a great question. Finding that balance between ancient wisdom, lived experience, and cutting-edge science to figure out what nature's mysteries are really telling us. Something definitely worth thinking about.